1.
8.
Like the shoulders here,
Which
too.
tier set is this? Is this also one of the Legion tier sets?
I don't think so. I don't think the shoulders are.
No think, just
I've
rating.
had those shoulders before.
They don't yell Legion to me. People are saying
we
WAD.
have to put thought into that.
Okay, all right.
It's really important.
WAD, Tomb of Sargeras,
Is it
Highmaul. WAD.
Okay,
Yeah, everybody's saying WAD. People are saying WAD and also Tomb, which is Legion. But I don't think it's Tomb, because Tomb was just the redo of Tier 6.
Okay.
Okay.
Chat's not kind of lower on this one. We got a 7.54 from somebody, a 6, a 7.
Have you given a rating, Zyro?
I like the sort of like grayish brown robes with the light blue. Light blue's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this color scheme.
It's good.
It's
It's
nice.
really working for me. I'm even at a 9.2. I really like this.
9.2.
I think this is
Okay.
actually really nice, really
Yeah.
subtle. I'm gonna go 8-9.
8? No. Wow. All right.
I honestly, playing Arcane on this is worse. If you're playing Frost on this, this is a good mod for playing
Oh, yeah.
Frost.
All right, we're going to do one more before
Okay.
we get into this pull. Here's the last
Thwack.
Thwack. That is a
That's a
fantastic
10.
name for a
That's a
warrior.
10.
It's got the butterfly wings on from the
Yep.
trading post. You love
That's
to
right.
see it. And they somehow made it work, and the fact that it's on a Tauren warrior is hilarious.
Yep, that is an instant 10 for me. The butterfly wings and the name combo, I'm sold. I don't
That's
care
a
about
10.
anything else.
10 for me as well.
Yep.
Love it. Zyro, not so sure.
Zyro is not a fan of giving out 10s for such, spurious reasons as I am.
I'll give it a.
You don't have to be your own man.
I gotta think about it. This is a really important rating.
It is.
I gotta offset your guys' 10s, I think.
Oh,
You gonna give it a 1?
okay.
No. I'd never.
Lower the average?
I'm gonna give you a 7.1, a passing score.
7.1. Wow. All right.
All right.
Well, thank you for your submissions. We'll get to more later. In the meantime, we're heading into poll 304.
That's right. I've always said, fool me 303 times, shame on me. But you can't get fooled 304 again. Yeah.
I think that's how the quote goes.
Very, very wise words, Stratnos. Thank you. But I mean, the good news is we are consistently getting into that final phase, and we've seen it. We haven't seen Prog in just a little bit, a couple of hours, I think. I don't know. Time's flying a little bit. We haven't seen Prog in a bit. However, we are getting into the final phase quite a bit, Zyro. You disagree?
Yeah, the thing is, any prog at this point would most likely just be a kill, right?
I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, we're not
It's-
getting any. Yes.
It's going to be hard for there to be a pull between 0.63% and 0. It's not impossible, but if there is, it's going to be simultaneously so energizing and so shattering, especially if there's something that is easily fixable that they can identify from that pull. Because you know that you could have just done that and killed the boss, but now you have to keep grinding through these pulls where any death is an instant reset.
Yep. Which we are seeing a lot of anytime they have a death that they think is going to indicate that they're not going to make it to the end, because it is such a tight damage check. We're seeing them very quickly reset the boss. You don't have to have that food buff anymore, so they are able to reset and repull extremely quickly.
I think the only death that would not incur a reset at this point is anything that happens after the 4-minute mark.
Yeah.
A player being dead for longer than 30 seconds probably means you're not going to hit the damage check, unless somebody is proccing like crazy that pull. Somebody like an Impact or something.
Okay. A couple of questions from chat that I want to address. One of which was, why are they burning less on pull rather than towards the end? Because there's some logic to that, right? You have these execute classes, you have these Spy Master's webs that are more valuable at the end. The problem is, the start of the pull is nice because you're not moving a lot, so everybody's able to do all their full damage that way. And you know that everybody has their CDs without having to delay them or do any weird stuff to make sure they have them at a certain time. So even with the benefits for lusting later for damage, we still get more out of it on pull. There would be some value for healers lusting later. The healer lust is worth mentioning, but it's not enough to offset the damage. That is what they really need to optimize here. So that's why we're seeing the lust on pull, but I'm sure it was considered somewhat seriously on this fight, given the healing and other factors. Another question was, how can we see the DPS check here? And anytime we're on Fired Up's POV, you can actually see it at the top of the screen with that weak aura he has there. That red bar is where they sort of need to be at, just naively doing the damage per second calculation. And the blue bar is where the boss's health is at. Of course, it's going to be a little bit ahead with the lust on pull, so we expect that red bar to kind of approach the blue bar. But as long as there's a gap between them, we are happy.
Yeah, think of it kind of like the Olympic record pacer that you see at the Olympics and
Right.
swim meets and stuff. That's that bar that they're trying to beat. It's going to be catching up when they're out of cooldowns. They're going to be pulling ahead a little bit outside of cooldowns. All we got to do is be a little bit ahead of it at the end of the encounter, and it could be a kill as long as one stays alive in that final intermission. That's really been the big break point for them, right? If they're able to get through the second intermission, that's usually the last time they're having issues. Right at the start of that third intermission, when players are getting in position, popping their cooldowns, there might be a slight lapse in attention to the mechanics coming out in that third intermission. It's also a different intermission from the rest of the fight, right? Having to deal with 3 of those combos instead of 2 means you're moving a lot more in that phase. There's never any time to just sit and plan.
Yeah, and that also means that you're all being squished together much more closely, right? Instead of being pushed into these 120-degree slices of the room to spread in with 2 of those, you're being pushed into 3 60-degree slices of the room, and everybody that's packed into one of those is so close to each other. Very hard to dodge. We do have a player going down during this intermission. Unfortunately, it's a warrior as well. We are going to have a res in 15 seconds here, so this pull is not dead just yet. We are still able to actually make progression and potentially kill the boss under these circumstances, but it's going to be very tight now. The damage check is still on pace-ish. We are going to have to res Riku, and then Void Shredders is now going to kill Scott somewhere around that 510, maybe 540 mark if we try and live till the third cast of this phase. And what we have to do is we have to have an Ankh Totem down to pick Scott back up when that happens. Ideally, we'd be using a res on that one, but we had to use that res to get Riku back up instead.
Yeah, I think he lives the next one, potentially, because that Ankh Totem's not quite back up. You can see, yep,
yeah, defensive is being
coming
called
up for this one. Next one he dies to with that totem. Remember the health value that we're looking for as the Endless Nightcast finishes to enter the third transition. We want to see something around 9 to 9.5%. That is an indicator for a kill. Inches away from being hit by orbs there, but Scott is a professional, knows where he needs to go. 1 suck-in, and then all we have left, I believe, is just 1 charge and 1 final suck-in before we get to that final intermission.
Ankh Totem's down. Here come those charges. And then we're going to have those Void Shredders killing off Scott here. He is in that Ankh Totem, though, is able to click that Totemic Revival. Come right back up. Everybody needs to survive these Queensbane dots now. They are hitting harder because the boss has been buffed by those 3 masks charging through it. We have the final grips of the phase. Inside the Spirit Link, a beautiful Dream Breath is going to heal everybody. And even though this damage is intense, the combination of Spirit Link, Totem, and Darkness has never been beaten. One of the strongest combos in the game.
The boss health is where it needs to be. 9.5% at the start of the cast. We're sub at 8% at the end of the cast.
The damage is so high.
Just stay alive as long as possible with the cooldowns pop. Spy Master's being used. We are fully in execute. If there was ever a pull to get it done on, this is the one. 303 pulls into the boss.
Fury dies, but that's intentional. He enters Angel form. He's able to keep healing now without having to move, without having to dodge, without having to worry about mana. Impact is going to die still as well. Sevi goes down, does have Ankh available. Impact actually also has Ankh. Activates that Ankh, comes right back up, and there it is!
Let's go!
First!
That is a Coinbase world first. Nexus Prince of Kyveza. They're a little bit.
They had so much extra damage. We had another 10 seconds.
Yeah, that was.
We were chilling.
Clean. They didn't even have to go past the enrage.
We didn't even need that one
nice.
tank. We had so much damage.
So nice. Oh, Max is looking right at
Wait,
the
did Dryden get ghosted again?
Oh, that's tough.
Oh,
No way.
I'm kidding.
Man.
Wow.
Very nice.
What a kill.
What a kill indeed.
304 pulls, like I've always said. That was going to be the number.
Oh, I have Giga points now. Oh, give me my
You
points.
won your prediction.
I did. I won my prediction.
Mods, cash us out.
Cash me out, mods, please.
And look how happy these players are. That is a feeling that can only be earned after hundreds of pulls of failure. Finally, they have made it happen. And Ribbons is flying around Dornegal.
What is he doing?
Max
I need my loot.
walking around, surveying. And actually, okay, let's take a look at the loot. What do we have potentially on here?
Give me the loot.
Let's go to Fired Up's POV and see.
We have a Regicide. That's huge.
Okay, so we didn't get the trinkets or the very rares on this boss, anything like that. But we did pick up a Mystic tier piece and some bracers. Oh, wow. Justly rewarded for a pull of this impressiveness. 2 pairs of bracers. Just what the doctor ordered.
Very nice. And they're just immediately sitting back down.
Yep. Well, 6 bosses are down, but we can't celebrate just yet. There are
Not
still
quite.
2 bosses left in this raid.
In the words of Kobe, job's not done.
Job's not done.
Job is not done. Lots to do. Oh my gosh, they've got a movie on. I'm sorry, I got completely. Did you see that? Did
Yep.
you see that? New tech right there.
There is, yeah, that tech I think was added yesterday of the Atlas movie.
My
From that
pictures are
perspective.
slowly getting replaced with pictures of Atlas working out, which I'm fine with.
Wow, they had
Sacrifice
so much
really
damage
big.
on that pull as well. I can't believe it. I was just looking at the number of casts, but they just killed it.
Yep.
With so much time left in that one. There is the loot. 2 pairs of bracers, 1 dagger, and a mystic tier piece. Not the greatest.
Yeah, not ideal. Obviously.